Hello and welcome to a third video talking about databases. We're going to be referring to the name again one more time to the name of the table, and which also called relation, and we call it also a file. So a relation is a table, also is a file in a database. If you want to go back and talk about what is what is a file is a whole unit of data under a specific name, usually with a specific extension that tells me what's responsible, who is responsible for creating it, what type of software. But also the software itself is a file. So we have two types of files. We have two types of files. We have program file, which is the actual software, and we have the data file, and the data file we are responsible for creating it as a user. And of course, if you take a look at Microsoft Word or Excel or Access, they're made out of hundreds and maybe thousands of program files that make up the software as a whole. Uh, so we do understand that we do create the data files ourselves as an end user. Uh, uh, the best database available in the market, also as a refresh your memory, is the relational database. And a database, again, could be defined as an integrated number of files, which result into a tables, result into a relation, which really based on initially on an entities that we observe in the real world that is going to be a representation of some type of action within the business world or medical field or any environment that require us to manage, process, and of course query our data. Query is to ask a question with certain criteria. So basically, a database is a very powerful type of software that is combined also with the system software because it's not really easily managed like a separate file, software by itself like Microsoft Word or even Excel. It's a lot more complicated, a lot more involved is the right word in this case. So if I ask you a question, who manage all these things and who is the one behind all this activity that pertain to database in the business? The big guy or gal is a database administrator, a database, database, database administrator. The database administrator sees the operation of the database. Not only sees it, he makes or she makes sure that to maintain security of the database. Of course, after they design it and do all the analysis and requirement, okay, they give privileges and they allow also access by allowing people to query the database to answer business questions so people could be informed about what type of decision, create multiple types of report. It's basically there's a lot more activities, but if I ask a question, what are the main functions or jobs that a database administrator perform in a business to manage or supervise or to see the operation of a database, it will say maintaining security, gives privileges, query the database to answer a business question, create multiple type of reports. That's really based on the query. The result of the query is a report in most cases. Okay, so those are very important for us to realize this. And I guess we could continue to discuss about some of the databases that question that pertain to the database in this chapter. Uh, if I ask a question, what is the data mining? What's pertaining to a database here? A data mining is is really the process of sifting through through massive amount of data to extract knowledge from it, to extract knowledge from it. So if I wanted to be able to discover a trend or behavior or consistency of some sort, I do go through a database by mining the data in order to extract the knowledge or create a new awareness of my operation or my business, which is extremely important these days, which are related to data analytics. And in order for us, or data science, which is two major fields these days, we should be aware of their potential and maybe getting a degree in those if you are interested in databases and what the potential that actually could lead you to in the near future. Uh, so, as a review, if I told you what is an entity is anything that I discuss or describe by a list of attributes. An attribute is one characteristics that define the entity. And if I told you to give me an example of it, an example of an entity would be a car, and an attribute would be any characteristics that define the car, describe the car, let's say a price. That is also going to be a number, or a currency is a better way of looking at it. Maybe the VI number, which is going to be the vehicle identification number, which is supposed to be acting here in this case as the primary key for each car that's going to be entered in the table if we are running really a car dealer shop of some sort. I'm going to stop here and we're going to continue with the fourth video. We're going to be talking about artificial intelligence and the different type of artificial intelligence that we're going to discuss very, very briefly. It's not really in the detail that this class would allow us. If we have to discuss anything in details, it will be through our discussion in the classroom. Okay, thank you.